Good afternoon. Hello, hi neighbors. How you doing? Hope everybody's okay. Today's Thursday, August 6th. Almost 2 months since my last video. I want to do videos on a regular basis till we get our meetings up and running again, which we'll talk about a little bit further on the tape. But we are planning on doing some meetings. Probably the next open meeting we'll have will be the annual meeting. Also want to discuss how, what we're doing, why we're not doing Zooms, why we're doing it this way. I'm giving you almost all the information. On this particular video, you're going to find out what the board has voted for over the last several months. Give you a complete update on that. You can only ratify this in front of live unit owners, okay? A live audience, I should say. And we will be doing that simultaneously at the annual meeting. What we plan on doing, and I just want to tell you this a little bit, we plan on having a quick board meeting before our annual meeting to ratify all the things that we voted on, discuss some of the things that have happened in the last couple of months, adjourn that meeting, and then do our annual meeting. We plan on having some type of lottery system where people will put their name in a hat, literally, and we'll pull it out and see how many people we're going to be able to fit into the community room, comfortably separated far enough from each other, so that we won't, for the COVID situation. So you'll find out more about that as time goes on. I believe the first mailing goes out sometime late next week for the election already. It's another year rolls by. Also want to mention that the COVID, there's no question about it, has put people on edge. I know I'm a little edgy, and people are just edgy. This is going on for over 5 months now. It's tough times. I mean, there's no restaurants. Last week I waited in line for 45 minutes to get to Trader Joe's. So things haven't really changed, and it's a little nerve-wracking. It's a little bit upsetting at this point already. And even though there's some relief in sight, it's not going to happen for months, okay? So thank you so much. Most of the residents here have been tremendous, really cooperated. Our employees have been very cooperative, and things have gone very well. I'm going to be mentioning some of the things that we voted. I mentioned that to you a few moments ago. Let me start with one of the things that we voted on, okay, while we haven't been having the open meetings. We did vote here to have people wear masks in the building, in the elevators, and common areas when the board seems that, it's fit for the health, welfare, safety of the residents here, okay? Some of the people here are very reluctant to wear masks. And I say some, I say very few, but some of them are. There were several employees that felt it was very uncomfortable to wear a mask, 8 hours a day, 12 hours a day, even some guys doing double shifts, 16 hours a day. But after numerous conversations, they understood, how important it was, so they're cooperating even more. So I want to thank those employees. Thank you very much. I had a resident here that told me that any employee that doesn't wear a mask, 100% of the time should be terminated, okay? That's not the way we treat our employees here, and that's not the way we're going to, okay? Some of these people are long-term employees, and some of them are very important and very good employees. So we try to work things out, and we try to do the same thing with the residents, okay? We will send you a warning letter in advance, and then we will take action after that. So let me elaborate on that for a second. What we're asking you to do is we have the, freedom of expression. That's what some of the people that won't wear a mask say. I have freedom of expression. I'm allowed to do whatever I want. This is private property. The board of directors is allowed to vote in anything they think is important for the community. We're asking you to wear a mask literally for 5 minutes, okay? We're asking you to wear a mask in the elevator, come down the elevator, come through the lobby, the basement, go wherever you're going, and after you do that, you're on your own. You can do whatever you want to do. That's none of our business, okay? We're asking you to do it for 5 minutes. Wear a mask, okay? When you don't wear the mask, forgetting about the welfare of other people and health, residents are calling the office, residents are writing the office, residents think the board of directors isn't taking action, and that's not true, and it's unfair. You're just causing problems here. So please, I'm urging you to please cooperate and put a mask on for 5 minutes. Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'm going to go over some of the things that have been going on here. At the end, I will recap what we voted on. I've made some notes, and some people are very, very nice. They've stopped me. They love these videos, and I appreciate the people. This does take some time. I do plan this. I told you this is kind of uncomfortable because right now I'm looking at a camera. That's it. There's nobody here. There's no reaction. So it's not that simple. I say the same thing. You're also going to hear stuff that you've heard before. I'm not trying to be repetitious. I'm just trying to drive a point home on certain things. Let me start with some of the subjects that are most important that people seem to be most focused in on. Okay, let's start with the Palisadium, okay? To give you the story, I'm a storyteller. I like to tell the residents some of the stories, okay? We have a resident here that called our attorney, okay? The resident said that she represents a large part of the community here, and she wants to get involved with the litigation and what's going on with the Palisadium. Our attorney reached out to the board and asked and told the board, you know, he represents 450 communities, and if he starts talking to all the residents at all the communities, I mean, we're talking 100,000 people. So the bottom line is what we did was we wrote the resident and we said, please do not contact our attorney directly. We have no problem you contacting management or reaching out to the board of directors. And as far as litigation goes, she said litigation. It's a woman, by the way, that called the attorney. I'm going to say very clearly, so everybody in the building can hear right now, we are not in litigation with the Palisadium, okay? The Palisadium sued us, I guess about 8 or 9 months ago, for a raise. We went to court. The case was dismissed, okay? When I say us, they also sued 200 as well. The case was dismissed. I know you've all heard this before, but I'm saying it clearly. So this woman that called her attorney, I hope can understand this, all right? And the judge recommended that we go to mediation, okay, to mediate and try to have everybody happy, okay? The Palisadium, we've done several mediations with them, and to be totally honest, 100% honest, we've gotten almost nowhere. But at this particular point, if anybody has a problem with the gym, and this is not being sarcastic, I'm being serious, go write the governor of New Jersey. Because as of right now, this is an order from the governor of New Jersey that all gyms must be closed. So at this point, we have very little leverage with the Palisadium regarding opening their gym or operating. They can't operate by law, okay? So that's part of it. Number two, the second part, okay, is the deal that we have with the Palisadium, and I'm going to say this, and I just started my 41st year here in July, believe it or not. I can't even believe it myself, but this deal took place in 1974, I'm sorry. That's about 4 years before I moved in here, okay? And the bottom line again there is that this is an unbelievable deal. It's ridiculous, but it is what it is. It was a 99-year deal. They have certain raises, and they have much more leverage than we had. That's the deal that was made, okay? Regarding payments, I mentioned this in the past. We have put April, May, June, July, August in escrow with our attorney. Our attorney's holding over $150,000 of our money. That is something that we agreed upon, that we will put in escrow with our attorney, and we will, during our mediate how that money gets divvied up. I'm pretty sure we're fighting for it that we keep the money, okay? No question about it. So I want you to know all this. But also, part of that agreement, 200's involved also. So not only do we have our law firm involved, but there's another law firm from 200. So it's not like we have our law firm and you're not happy with our lawyer. There's two law firms, and we both have to come to an agreement together for this to work out. So again, that also makes things a little bit more complicated. So with that said, this woman went ahead and once again called our attorney. And once again, we're back in the same situation. And this starts to cost the association money, because what attorneys do is when they get messages and they start emailing you the information, etc., you start getting bills, okay? So anyway, once again, I reach out and I say to you, there is no litigation, okay? And if and when the governor says gyms can reopen, then we're back into a different situation. Then we're going to see, you know, what moves we're going to make, what's going to happen, whether or not the Palisadium does reopen. To be honest with you, I don't think they will, but we'll see what they do, all right? If they don't reopen, then of course we will take legal action, we'll do what we have to do. Or hopefully we'll mediate this and have a good ending to this, okay? So that's the Palisades situation. That's why, just like in real government, that's why there's a board of directors, that's why there's a management company, and that's why there's lawyers. And we have to listen to our lawyers. That's why we hire them. I think our lawyer presently has been here about 14 years, and he's done a very, very good job. So we're very happy with that. So we'll continue on, and we'll continue to give you updates, and we'll see what happens. But as of right now, they extended the restaurant. You go to restaurants till September sometime and other things, and I don't foresee gyms being reopened in the very, very near future. But again, if and when, we'll let you know. We'll do a video right away. Regarding the pool, okay, which is another big subject. Very interesting about the pool. First of all, I've gone through this last time too, but I'll give you the latest statistics. The latest statistics are, and anybody's more than welcome to take a look at the facts and figures. We have a legal opinion from another law firm that wrote an opinion very recently about opening pools, how it's very, very dangerous to open up a pool. The liability is unbelievable, okay? And we had a couple of reasons that originally, let me just start there for a second. 80% of the pools in New Jersey are closed. 80%. By the way, New Jersey by far leads that in categories, all right? Other states are 45%, 50, 60, but in New Jersey, 80% of the pools that are closed. Of the 20% of the pools that are open, a majority of them have what's called tort immunity, okay? If you're a municipality, if you have a pool in Ridgefield Park, I think there's a pool there, or Leonia, or North Bergen, those pools have tort immunity. If you're a JCC or you're a charitable organization, they have immunity. So out of the 20%, I'm going to guesstimate 10, 15% almost, okay, have immunity. There's one here or there. But there's always the person that says, well, I heard that some pools open in so-and-so place. Okay, what does that mean? And I'm going to tell you something about that, okay? But they're not saying that Buckingham's closed, Royal Buckingham's closed, Kensington's closed, the Carlisle's closed, the 200's closed, the Greenhouse is closed. So, for every one that they may find that's open, we'll find 20 that are closed. The bottom line is this. We were told the following, and again, I'm repeating this also. We were told by our attorney, do not open the pool. He was so emphatic. I have never seen him this emphatic since I've been on the board of directors. He was upset, okay? Because we were discussing trying to open the pool, because at the beginning, we thought the chairs had to be 6 feet apart, and we could hire a couple of people. But as time went on, it developed over a couple of days. It became much more complicated, okay? We have to take into effect that at one time, Winston Towers was the largest condominium in Bergen County, okay? So I could assume today, we got to be top 5 right now. We have 676 units here. This is a huge community with 2,500 plus people living here. So again, this isn't some building that's got 200 units. It's easier to control, whatever. Even if it was, that's not the point. The point is, this is what pushed me over the top. And I'm going to tell you what it is one more time, and we'll move on from this, okay? Our attorney said, you are risking all the money that you guys have in the bank that you worked very hard for to save, because financially, as I'm sure most of you know, and I've said it before and I say it again today, we're in very, very good shape in this building, okay? And we planned it this way and it worked out. He also said, in addition to putting your money at risk, you could be sued, every board member could be sued personally, and every manager could be sued personally if something should happen at the pool. Once you hear that, things change a little bit. Now, I know there's a few people out there that are saying right now, oh, that's stupid, we're never going to get sued, and this and that. So let me tell you about a couple of those people. We've given a couple of those people the opportunity to sign some type of release that'll say, in the event we get sued, they'll pay all our legal fees and they'll pay any lawsuit damages. And real quickly, they decided they wouldn't sign a paper like that, okay? So I couldn't sleep at night knowing that possibly my fellow board members, Joe the manager, Chris Murphy, who's been here a long time, Steve the Moo, could wind up putting their life savings at risk, okay? So that was another reason. So it was kind of a simple way to go forward. I will say to you, the board, out of 9 board members, is 100% on board with not opening the pool. I feel very bad about it. I've said this before. I was a big pool guy. Boris is a big pool guy. Shai's a big pool guy. Jan went down almost every single night and did 1,000 laps down there. So we were all, a lot of us were pool people, and we do miss it quite a bit this summer. So I'm sorry this happened. Let's hope we have a vaccine this winter. If not, let's hope that we could work things out differently in the future. But this all came about at the last minute. If you remember, you couldn't even open a pool to almost the 4th of July in the state of New Jersey. The pools were closed, okay, for Memorial Day, right through the end of June, if you remember, okay? So that's our pool story. I'm sorry for the inconvenience for people, but again, we weren't going to risk it. Also, we have to remember one thing. There's a pandemic going on in this country, okay? And again, I might getting back to the masks again, but when you're in a pool and you're swimming and you're breathing hard and you're breathing on people, that's the worst thing in the world. And last week, if any of you follow the news or just getting sick of it or whatever, there was a 4-day span with 2,000 people in the state of New Jersey tested positive last week. So things are still, could spike, things could happen, and a combination of trying to keep the people safe here and also a combination of trying to make sure financially our building doesn't get hurt. And this is just logic, okay? Moving on to some other things. The basketball court. I've had 2 people ask about the basketball court. Why we're not opening the basketball court? I'll tell you the 2 reasons there. Number 1, basketball is a contact sport if you play it properly. You put your hand on the opponent to try to defend, from him getting a basket. The person's sweating. The person's breathing real hard. Again, when you're breathing real hard, that's how you're spewing this stuff, okay? If God forbid you have it, all right? But in addition to it, what we found out in addition to that, which is very important to understand, 200, a lot of the kids that live in 200 jump the fence, okay? And they come over and use our basketball court. This is when their court's open, by the way, okay? Their court is closed now. So we're going to have kids jumping the fence from 200. We have kids from Cliffside Park that jump the fence from the visitor parking lot and come over here and play with their friends over here and choose up teams and things such as that. So, again, I know it's a sacrifice, and I know it's upsetting to certain people, but again, we're trying to keep the place as safe as possible. We've also, with contractors, if you've noticed up until recently, it was very quiet here. We didn't let contractors in, and we're still trying to control them and not letting them, we're trying to keep things as quiet and peaceful as possible at the building right now, okay? So again, the basketball courts, we didn't really want to get involved. We don't have the security, okay, to stand outside and check the basketball courts every 15 minutes, okay? They can only make rounds, especially with delivering packages now and some other situations that are going on in the building. We can't have a security guard standing outside monitoring a basketball court all day. So again, I'm sorry about that. Give you some other stuff that's going on here. The meters, okay, meter readings, okay. Some people are upset about the meter readings. Personally speaking, it was a warm, very warm winter, so I think, you're going to get a little bit of a benefit there, but you'll probably have a little bit of a disadvantage when they start reading the meters for this summer, because it's been a very, very hot summer, of course. With the pool being closed, it's a very sunny, very hot, and basically overall pretty clear summer. But, I'm sure if the pool was open, it would be raining like every week. But that's the way it goes, Murphy's Law. But even with the meter readings, they started again on the 4th of August. They started reading the high-rise buildings again in Bergen County. So we anticipate them reading our meters any day now, and we'll finally get that straightened out once and for all. Just want to let everybody know that. When we were looking at some of the meters yesterday, just as an example, which is very, very interesting, they're reading our meters because the building's meters, when I say the buildings, I'm talking about the common areas, our hallways, and our garage, and things such as that, laundry rooms. They're reading our meters because we outsourced our energy here. We don't go through PSE&G. They do large buildings like ourselves. And Chris and I were talking about it yesterday, and just as an interesting sidebar here, between outsourcing our energy, okay, our electricity here, and putting in the LED lights in throughout the whole building, we're saving over the past 5 years somewhere in the neighborhood of about $150,000 a year. So it's absolutely tremendous. We've saved about $600,000 to $700,000 over the last 5 years outsourcing the energy. So I just want to mention that, because I'll mention that at the end when I go through our new budget and what our maintenance increases may be. But these are the things that have saved us a lot of money and given us so many years without a maintenance increase at this point. The key fobs, okay? About 2 weeks ago, as you all know, we had a power outage here for a couple of hours, all right? When that power outage hit for some reason, which we can't figure out, the key fobs that we used to use throughout the building to get in the doors affected 2 doors in particular. It affected the bathroom doors in the lobby, and it affected the promenade door, okay, on the promenade coming in, all right? Most of the keys were knocked out. We have to reprogram every key. We're talking about 3,000 plus keys, okay? This is a big job. It's not like you just push a button and move on. You got to look it up, and you have to see if it's activated, not activated. Make sure it's reactivated properly for certain doors, because there's certain doors that our keys are not activated for. So we're going through that. It's a slow process, and hopefully within the next week or so we should have that completely straightened out. That's why some of the people that may have gone on the promenade have seen the door open. The reason the door was open is because some people couldn't get back in, so we just left it open. But we are checking cameras, and we are seeing who's coming in and going out, and we're doing a pretty good job with that stuff, okay, overall. The packages, let me give you a little bit of insight on the packages here so people understand this, because we never went through this. We've hired somebody that's dedicated, does nothing but deliver packages. I think he delivers them Monday through Saturday, I believe from 12 noon till 6 o'clock every day. The valet, which by the way should be open running with the manicures, etc., sometime in late August, we hope. Is helping with the packages, going to be completely on their own soon, giving this fellow the packages. So we've hired a person that just delivers the packages all day. We anticipate doing this till at least Labor Day, and then we'll take a look at it at that point. This has been a very good situation regarding COVID, because like I said last time, we get about 200 people a day coming down to pick up a package. It's even gotten worse since I spoke last time. All right, we get tremendous. We're almost up to 500-600 packages a day. So those are 200 people that aren't taking an elevator every day, going downstairs, interacting with the doorman or the package person. We're doing that. Also want to let you know, very, very important that you know this, okay? We get no manifest when they deliver packages, okay? We never did, by the way. We've gone through this with Amazon, and we went through this with other companies at the beginning. But also at the beginning, we would sign for a total number. We never knew that it was Mrs. Jones's in apartment 100 or whatever it was, okay? We never got a manifest that told us who's getting what package. They would come with the cart, it would be full of packages, and they would ask us to sign. Now they don't even take signatures. They don't want signatures, they don't want to exchange pens or anything. So when we get a delivery here, okay, we sign for nothing, and we're really shooting in the dark here. So if there's anything missing or anything happens, the responsibility completely falls on the company that's bringing the stuff here. Because again, there is no manifest, so we don't know who gets anything. We do mark it in after we get it, okay? But that's, again, we don't know if it matches up with what they say, because they don't tell us what they say. This storm, we just had a storm a couple days ago, and there's a woman, Mrs. Stern, very, very nice woman, that called the office several times. Matter of fact, I met her in the lobby yesterday to tell us there were some planks on the roof that were blowing around, and she was very, very worried about it. And I thank her very much for bringing it to our attention. These are the planks that are up there with the scaffolding. Chris went up there and assured me 100% there's thousands of pounds on top of it. It'll never blow off. Joe went up there because he was called several times. He again assured me the same thing. So fortunately they were right. It never blew up, but some chairs, some tables, some stuff blew up, some people's terraces. I think it's, in my personal opinion, a little bit irresponsible. We sent everybody an email in this building. Some people, Mrs. Stern said, why don't we use the speaker system? So I want to clear that up too for people in the building. We are not allowed to use the loudspeaker system. That's called the fire department's alarm system, all right? We got in a lot of trouble during Hurricane or Tropical Storm Sandy. We did use it, and the fire department went crazy on us for using it. I don't understand the reason, but that's the way it goes. We're not allowed to use the system. So we did send an email out. We do have over 2,000 email addresses here, and honestly speaking, it's not like a hurricane just pops up out of nowhere. I mean, the thing was predicted for a few days, so I assume most people knew that we could be in harm's way. Also, in the future, if there's such a situation coming and you feel that you're not able to move something from your terrace and put it in your living room, or whether you have a bad back or you're just not in condition to do it, notify us. We will send somebody up there from the building to give you a hand or take care of it for you, right? So we're there for you. So anyways, overall things went very, very well. It was a great test of our facade once again. We had the facade redone, which I'm very proud of. I was part of that. Must be about 8 years now, 7, 8 years. There were really no leaks. The only leaks that we had were one person's windows, okay? But outside of that, it worked out great. We had a couple of minor incidents, but we did have some furniture fly off the terraces, and that was pretty dangerous, but thankfully, nothing very seriously came of it. Just a few rules I'd like to go over. I'm moving along here now. A few rules I want to go through. Everybody should know the rules and regulations. Let me go over a couple that people are breaking, and we're getting into a lot of trouble with them. It's very simple. You cannot move furniture on Sunday. That's the rule. You can't move in, you can't move out. That's the rule. And end of that story. Trash disposal. You can't start throwing away your bedroom set, your kitchen set, ripping up the carpeting in your whole apartment and throw it. We don't have the capability here. You have to make arrangements to have your trash taken away or speak to the office and figure something out. You just can't throw it out. We have a room downstairs. That room is specifically for the building, okay, when we do repairs and we get rid of certain stuff, okay? So please, you can't throw your trash away down there, okay? A lot of the contractors are taking stuff like that, and it doesn't work like that. When you move out of here, you have to give us 2 weeks' notice. You just can't come to the office and say, hi, I'm moving tomorrow. Oh, I'm sorry, you can't move tomorrow. We have somebody else moving. And then the person says, well, I'm moving anyway. That's not fair. That's not nice. That's not the way it works. We only let one move, by the way, one service elevator at a time. We don't even let both sides move at the same time. Because if we do that, you're not going to get food deliveries. People can't get to the back door. It causes nothing but a lot of trouble in the building. If you want to move out, we're asking you to give us 2 weeks' notice. Most people that are moving know that they're moving in a couple of weeks. Please do that. We also demand on move-outs certified or cashier's checks when you move out and use the elevator. So we'd appreciate that. I'm just going over some basic rules, okay, while we do this, all right? Our number one concern here is, just to give you the future here, our number one concern here now is the following financially. The hallways, the HVACs on the roof, okay, which, heat and cool your hallways, the garage to keep it safe at all time, and the terraces. So let me go through that for a second, okay? We've made a lot of headway with the hallways. It's been very hard again with COVID-19, okay, because you have 9 board members, you may have 6, 7 different decorators coming in. We really didn't want to operate that way. We kind of spread things out. When we've had a meeting recently, we've been going in, the board has been going into the community room. We put chairs in there and we spread them real far apart. And we try to have 45, 50, 60-minute meetings tops, okay? Not to spend too much time together. We don't do it in the conference room like we used to do and sit down for a couple hours. We try to go through the agenda very, very quickly. So right now, we're working with the hallways. We've made a lot of progress recently. It's more than just a decorator. You got to deal with fire people that going to change the fire alarms and put them in code, because some of them are too high if you're in a wheelchair. There's the sprinkler heads. There's the red horns in the hallways. There's all types of different people we're working with, more than just interior decorators. So we're putting all those pieces together right now. Things are coming together, and hopefully in the next 2 to 4 weeks you should have much more word. I'm shooting for personally, and I hope the board agrees with me, I don't know, I'm hoping we could start right after January 1st. Some people may say, oh my God, what's so long? But again, because of the COVID and because people were out of, people shut down for 3 months, 4 months, etc., to get carpeting today takes 14 to 16 weeks now, lead time. So there's a lot of lead time that we have to count on at this particular point, all right? The employees, okay, let me tell you some of the things that happened there, okay? First of all, Sarah is no longer here. Sarah resigned, I guess about, 3-4 weeks ago. Sarah is no longer with us. Antonella is now the assistant manager, along with Joe. We've hired another person that's going to be starting on Monday that'll take care of the window when we reopen the window. Carissa had some plexiglass made for the window, which, give us more security when we do open it. We plan on opening the window sometime after or around Labor Day weekend, depending on how, the virus, acts. If it stays the way it does now, I'm assuming we will open that. If it gets spikes or we have a problem, then we may delay that for a while. But we're going to do that. And the employees, we've been, people don't know this, and we don't go around talking about this. We've given the employees on 2 occasions already a bonus, okay? Thanking them for their dedication, thanking them for showing up, thanking them for bearing with the situation. They did a great job. We've given them several bonuses, and we plan on giving them another one in short order. And anybody that hasn't felt well or whatever, we've given them off as much time, even though they have X amount of sick days. We've had people that are taking way in excess of what their normal sick days are, and we paid them. So we've been generous to the employees. I think they've been very appreciative. We have a very, very good relationship with them, and we'll continue to do that. I want to thank them. I want to go on video. I want to thank Bobby Perez. Okay, Bobby, you've done a great job here with you guys. I want to thank Jose Loaiza, because Jose is our #1 guy when it comes to security. He also represents their union, the 2 different unions. So thank you very much. You guys are great, and I think the people in the building are very, very appreciative. Thank you. Also, let's see what else is going on here. Okay, the plexiglass, okay. The annual meeting, I gave you the plan, that we're going to go through that plan. Regarding the board of directors, unfortunately, Yuri resigned from the board of directors, and we have filled his position with Rosario Massari. Very, very nice, fine person. I want to say thank you so much to Yuri. You're a real gentleman, did a great job. And I know the board members feel pretty sad that you've left, but we wish you the best, okay? Rosario's a fine guy. He has a background. He teaches mechanics in a technical school. He's also been a principal of a school. He's done management, budgeting. He has a good background. And most importantly to me, and this may sound corny to some of you, he's a very easygoing, very nice person. And most of my time on the board, I'm not going to say all of it, but most of the time on the board, we've had some I've had the pleasure to be with some very nice, very fine people, okay? And that to me is very, very important. We don't need people coming on the board stirring the pot, and causing problems, etc. We need people that could come on and disagree respectfully. Let's put it that way, okay? There's nothing wrong with disagreeing, but as long as you're respectful. So, welcome to the board, Rosario. Let me mention to you some of the stuff that we voted on now, and I know exactly who has their pad and pencil out right now from the open meetings, and she knows who I'm talking about. She's sharpening a pencil. Okay, go get it. All right, you ready? All right. We voted on the following: the PPP, okay, which is the payroll protection plan, which I mentioned. We received $495,000. We voted on that to accept that, which we had to vote. We will ratify that at an open meeting. We closed the Alamo bank account, okay? We transferred the funds. That was from a receivership. A receivership is when somebody doesn't pay their maintenance. We take over their apartment and we rented an apartment out. All the money that was accumulated in there we transferred to Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo has about 20, 25 bank accounts they hold for us, they manage for us, okay? So we voted on Wells Fargo fund transfer. We did a fund transfer with Wells Fargo. In the back service road, we voted, there's a drain back there when you drive down the service road, I'm sure you could see it. It was sinking, I guess about 4 months ago. We had that redone. I'm not giving you the exact figures, and I'm going to tell you why, because I'd rather do that when we ratify it for our unit owners. This broadcast could be seen on YouTube, and I don't think it's anybody's business how much money we spend outside of the people that live here. And if you don't live here, you could be watching this video right now. So anyway, I'll give you some ideas with some of it. I think the drain was about $2,500. I'm really not sure. We did terrace repairs. I think we're on our 4th terrace repair now since it started. That, again, anywhere from $6,000 to 20-some-odd thousand dollars. Depends on what you need. If the railing has to be ripped out and the pockets have to be redone, it's very expensive. It's expensive because the scaffolding's a fortune, okay? That's where a lot of the money is. Putting the scaffolding up could take 2 to 3 days just to get that on the roof and get it hooked up. We had one terrace that cost us the most money since I've been on the board, but that whole terrace was a complete disaster, okay? This had to be almost completely gutted and completely rebuilt, okay? So we've done 4 of those, and I think we have 2 to 4 more coming down the road very, very soon. And we withheld doing that during the beginning of COVID. So we're doing it now. You may hear some jackhammering, etc. But again, these are real safety issues. We're doing terraces that could be a safety issue, okay? We had the garage doors repaired. We put new springs in the garage door. The door was getting stuck periodically. Again, that cost approximately $3,500. The garage entrance, okay, we didn't do it yet. We voted on it already. When you pull in the garage, where the red light and green light is on the wall, that wall is starting to become hollow. There's pieces falling off the wall. So before it starts to fall off, God forbid, in your windshield or your car or whatever, we're going to start ripping that out. I plan on doing that right after Labor Day. And unfortunately, the bad news is that door will have to be closed for 2 weeks. That's another reason we put it off. We have enough going on right now without, causing that problem. So that door is coming down, okay? Let's see. Budget approval. We approved the new budget for this year, and I'm happy to say, I'm so sorry I didn't look it up before I came down. I was going to look it up because I'm always very proud of this. One more time, okay? Last year I said absolutely, positively, 100% we're going to have a raise this year, okay? There is no raise this year. There will be no maintenance raise. Again, I think it's got to be 14 or 15 years now. I'm not even sure. Maybe close to 50. It's unheard of, okay? And I say this every year. Check with your neighbors. Ask your friends that live in other condos. It's unheard of, okay? We have no assessments. We're redoing the hallways. No assessments, okay? The HVACs on the roof are going to cost us $1 million+. I plan on doing that probably in about 2 years, right before my term is up, okay? The lifespan's about 20 years on the HVACs. I believe ours are about 22, 23 years old. The reason that they're still operating so well is, thank you so much, Steve the Moo, okay? And a little bit of help from Chris at this point. Thank you so much, okay? They've kept those things running beautifully. They check the compressor all the time. They've had it serviced. So that's a big project. That's our next 2 big projects here. The hallways and the HVACs are very, very important. That's where they fly in the HVACs on the roof in helicopters, okay? This is a fairly complicated thing, okay? We got a new garbage dumpster in the back, at the back door. I believe that, again, was about a little over $3,000, okay? The masks, we did vote on the masks, okay? We discussed that already. I'm not going to go through that again. And last but not least, we renewed our insurance, and our property and our liability. I'm doing this from memory again. I believe we got it for $18,000 less than we did last year, but we had a problem with our umbrella. The umbrella went from $17,000 to $68,000, okay, for a $100 million umbrella. So what we did was we took a $50 million umbrella for 3 months. We're already a month into it, or over a month. to see if we can get a better deal somewhere else. And this all has to do with COVID, okay, made the umbrellas go crazy. And unfortunately, the rioting and looting in this country, okay, had a big effect on the umbrellas in this country. So every insurance company we went to, that's basically the way it worked out. I think that's about it. I think I've covered just about a lot. This is one of my longest videos. I want to say again that anybody has any questions, please, put it in writing to the office. I will take it up at the next time we do a video. We will be doing again a live board meeting in October. I think it's October. I think it's the 12th. I'm not sure. It could be October 12th. I'm not 100% sure. Anybody know that exact date? Is it 12th or 14th? Hold on one second before I go. And the bottom line is that the building's in great shape. Financially, we're in great shape. The people overall, I think, are very, very understanding. I'm very, very appreciative. Thank you so much for tuning in. And again, if you see me, the 12th, October 12th, I was right. I can't believe this. At my age, I can still remember these dates. It's amazing, isn't it? But anyway, thank you so much. Keep hanging in there. And if you want to go out for dinner, next time you go to a restaurant, the first time you go to a dinner, think of me because my wife doesn't like to cook. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.